Well, very excited to get the win for sure. I thought our guys just, again, stayed with the game. We knew it was going to be a very hard game, not a lot of room. I didn't think offensively we generated a ton, but they were a big part of that. But no, just it was great to see Parker. We just needed a goal, or we needed something to give us some life. Parks gave us that life with the tying goal, and obviously it was great to see him score again in overtime. That's what leaders do. But hats off to Bowling Green. They had a great year. They have a great team. They made it very difficult on the ice.
Okay, any questions for the student athletes?
Cole, starting with you, kind of take us through your perspective, both on the game tying goal and the game winning goal that you were able to set up there. What were you trying to accomplish each time?
On that tying goal, I mean, we just knew it was late in the game, and we had to get something going. So I was just trying to get pucks on net, and one of our D made a pinch, and puck kind of came out to me, and I threw it at the net, and actually kind of hit Parker up towards his face, and he was able to put it in from there. And then that overtime goal, we just talked about trying to get pucks and use our speed to get wide, and I just kind of did a little self-chip and threw it off the far pad to try and create a second opportunity, and Parker was right there to put it in.
Parker, where did he hit you?
Probably in the arm, shoulder area.
Can you go through your perspective on both those pucks Cole was able to send in there for you and the goals you're able to get?
They did a really good job defensively, obviously. And then, like Kev said, he got a puck off a pinching D, and I was just trying to hang around the net, hoping that it would come back low, trying to keep pucks alive, and he was throwing pucks at the net, and it hit me, and then got a shot on net and a pretty fortunate bounce, but at this time of year, we'll take that.
Parker, with the way Bowling Green's goaltender was covering pucks, stopping pucks, forcing face-offs, how hard was it to get second chances, even when you were parked in front of the net there, waiting for those loose pucks? And what do you think kind of finally opened things up late in the game and in the third period in OT?
Yeah, he's a big goalie. He had a really good game, I thought. And then just late in the third there, once we did get that goal, I think we started pushing and moving our feet a little more like we have been able to, and that's one of our strengths, so we're going to have to continue to do that.
Parker, right, given the amount of games that you guys like that you guys have played, does this ever become normal for you, or is it exciting every time?
Yeah, it's obviously exciting when you can get into these types of big games. I'm sure for the fans and for our parents it's probably not as fun, but we kind of calm ourselves down when we get in these situations, I think, a bit, and then whether it doesn't matter who steps up, as long as somebody's doing it, and we're fortunate to be on the right side of those games for quite a bit of them in the last 4 years here.
For Parker or Cole, did tonight kind of feel a little bit like the frozen face-off semifinal against Denver, where there wasn't much time or space to work out there? And was there anything you were able to pull from that night that helped you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Denver is a great team defensively, just like Bowling Green was tonight. They didn't give us a lot of time, and playing 2 hard games last week, and I think kind of knew what to expect to intensify coming into this game. So I mean, those games last weekend were huge for us to get the win, and we were able to come in here and fortunate to do the same. So.
Cole, as a newcomer here, can you kind of take me through how this winning culture has been conveyed to you? How, as you guys won all these kinds of games, these one-goal games, how does this keep happening? What are the conversations that you've had with the teammates about this kind of game?
Just the given success with the program through the last however many years, and then especially last year with them winning, and just walking around with a target on our backs. We know we're going to get every team's best game. Like we said, we had a lot of close games lately, and we have great leadership up front and a lot of experience just throughout our lineup. So I mean, coming into this program, you can expect to get everyone's best game and try and win, and that's what we've been doing this year.
All right, well, next to the student athletes now.
Thanks, guys.
Scott, 12 consecutive one-goal NCAA tournament wins. Throw the question that they asked Parker, are you getting a little more used to these games now warming up to them, or not really?
Well, I mean, they are what they are. I mean, again, you know, you go into all these games and you get to this stage of the year, you know they're going to be, number one, hard games. They're going to be probably close games. You know, we knew that going in tonight, that it was going to be a real battle. You know, defensively, both teams are good. I thought they do a real good job of pressuring the puck. I thought they did a good job too, not allowing second and third opportunities. But we got to get to the net a little bit more, and you know. But as far as the games, as long as you win them, like it's great when you win. But you know, it was. I wouldn't say you get used to them, but I don't think, you know, this group has been phased by being in a lot of tight games, and that probably, I can say that for the last few years. You know, those guys are used to being in close games, and you know, when your captain steps up and does what he does, that tells it all. I mean, your leadership and your experience has to take over, and like he said, calm guys down, and you know, you just go play and see what the end result's going to be. And fortunately for us, we've been on the right side of it.
Coach, in these kind of games, I mean, is that for the newcomers? Is that something that's verbally handed down to them, or do they just kind of feed off of whatever is being exuded by the guys who've been there before?
Well, I think I think right probably from the beginning of the year. I mean, I'm hoping that that's going on. You know, that's kind of the expectation that the young players kind of learn from the older guys. Number one, what the expectations are, but you still got to go through that stuff. You got to go through the grind of a regular season. You got to go through, if you get to your tournament championship, you need to go through those games to really experience it. It's no different than this tournament. You know, once you get in here and you start playing, you kind of get used to what to expect. And I think there's still some good to having a little bit of negativity with the young guys, because they're still kind of playing. I mean, obviously it worked last year with some of our young guys, but I think, you know, our older guys are relied upon certainly to, you know, to talk to our guys, and you know, we as coaches do the same thing. But it's really important that your players and your captains and your leaders make sure the group understands.
Scott, tonight kind of had a little bit of both from last weekend at the Frozen Face-Off. How important was that weekend? You preparing the guys for tonight, playing a tight defensive game and then in a high-pressure situation?
I think every game prepares you for the next game. You know, you go through different things, and games take different momentum swings and turns, and you know, sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind, sometimes teams catch up, sometimes you catch. I mean, the whole year prepares you for certain games, and you know, last weekend was, you know, very similar. Yes, I mean, the Denver game was pretty close to this, where there wasn't a lot, you know, a lot of space. Again, knew it was going to be a low-scoring game, so you got to wrap your mind around that. And if it goes the other way, then you play that way. And you've heard me say that all year. You got to just kind of get into the game and know what kind of game it's going to be, and you know, that's just how it goes. So if last weekend helped us for tonight, great. But I do think every game and every situation you're in, you learn something from, both good and bad.
That OT though against St. Cloud in the championship, that helped maybe prepare the young guys for a pressure situation like this, or
I don't know if they're prepared. I'm just glad that one ended just like this one, right? Like, I mean, both of us were in the tournament, and you know what? The longer that game goes, you start worrying about guys getting fatigued and injured, and that was last week. And this is you're playing for your life, so it's a whole different ball game. It's you got to lay it on the line, and you can't be playing for tomorrow. You got to play for the now, and you know, certainly to go through that and win gives your guys confidence. When you're playing good teams and you find ways to win, it always gives your team a boost and some life and some confidence. So I think, if anything, that game against St. Cloud gave us, both games against both those teams gave us a little more confidence coming into this weekend.